How's everyone doing today? My name is CJ Hallock with CJHallock.com. It's January 31st, 2019, and this is a Daily Hustle Report. Let's get to it.
I'm out here shining, 'cause I stay grinding. I'm out here shining, 'cause I stay grinding.
Alright, so it's been a very productive day. Still, hashing it out on the Blitz, which we'll get to that in a second. Put out two different proposals today. Did about 3 different client updates for their website software and things of that nature, and did a couple graphic design projects for a client, putting together some templates and stuff for them to use on social media. But other than that, basically did nothing but work on the Blitz, and that brings me to the countdown. Basically just wanted to go ahead and move forward with, keeping the countdown in play every day until we launch the Blitz challenge. So it'll give me a bit for days unlike today, where today I did a lot inside of the challenge, so I really don't have much else to wrap up outside of that. But just to give me somewhere at the end of the day to kind of wrap up where we are with the challenge, what's going on, and give you a back end view as I move forward with the launch. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and dig through and show you guys, give you guys kind of like let's go ahead and get the screen up. This software is awesome when you start playing with it. It's OBS. It's a free software. All you need is a webcam. I have a decent mic. It's a Blue Yeti. You can get the Nano, which is basically the same without all the extra features. Just sound quality should be almost identical. But anyways, other than that, the software is free, and it does all of this fancy graphics, the watermark, the picture-in-picture, it's awesome. Check it out. OBS, Open Broadcast Software. But anyways, over to the screen, I want to give you guys a rundown on what's going on with the Blitz. So I have the landing page for the Blitz. I used to have, for those of you who have been following along with the launch, I used to have all of the lessons down here at the bottom, and then the empty spots for the ones to come, because I decided to go more in depth with the training. So even an absolute 100% beginner can move forward with building their own site, not have questions, where they can have the module extras, which I'll get to in a second, that'll walk them through everything. It really just made more sense to do away with the lessons at the bottom and actually move forward with the actual modules. So sorry, I had to take me a drink of coffee. Basically put, we're gonna get started, and the links are not live yet from the module page, because I still have a lot of work to do on each of them. As far as well, let's just jump into it. Module 1 is the blueprint. On each of them, I still have to finalize. I have the image placeholder or thumbnail or whatever you want to call it up, but that's just for the lazy load. The actual video itself is still not there, so I'm still working on it, so I'm not pushing this completely yet. So that's the reason why I'm not putting them on here. I may do the first 2 or 3 next week. Just give them, put them out a little early, depending on if I can get around to actually doing the video work of me going through the different steps. So, but that's next week, and we'll get to that then. So basically, as you come into the different modules, the design is going to be the same. Of course, the lessons and the extras and stuff will be different for each module, but for basic overview of the module and what we're doing is going to be on the right. The video is going to be a walkthrough and what you need moving forward, and then of course individually the different things that I cover in the video will have its own individual lessons here, and then you can come down to the module extras, which is stuff that is not 100% needed, but something that I would recommend. Like in module 1, we're covering, are you going to blog? Well, if you're going to blog, you need to understand blogging, and that's why I have the introduction of blogging down here. So as we go through all this, and of course all of this in general is going to be covered in the main video, which is the reason why I haven't gotten to it yet, because I want to do all of those videos in a row, solid with all the PowerPoints in one day, record the videos the next as I go through this stuff, and I want to make sure that I'm not skimping anything. That's why I'm going through all of the content first, as far as the lessons and the extras, and then I can go back later to add anything that I might have forgot. So going through the modules in the blueprint, or the lessons in the blueprint module, of course we have the naming and brand, creating your password, which is a huge thing I'm starting to see over and over with people complaining about getting hacked, whether it's their email or their social media profiles or whatever the case may be. The biggest reason why that happens so much is you're using your birthday and your first dog's name as your password, and that's stuff that you've posted about on social media and that is public, and it makes software super easy to crack when you have that easy of a password. So this kind of helps you understand how to make sure that you create a super secure and strong password, and some tools on how to do it and all that. Tips on writing a good tagline or slogan, and then of course the different module extras, going over how to find your target market, logo design, and this is going to be a big one. We're going to cover more in depth on how to create the profiles and things of that nature, and what you need for the profiles and all that. But this is going to be a big one, deciding what social media profiles you're going to use. And then, like I said, an introduction to blogging and email marketing, if you decide you're going to be going through those and including those features into your website. So that's module 1, module 2, and I'm going to cover the first 3 because I have most of them complete aside from the video. So module 2, same basic layout. Going into the lessons, there are a lot more lessons here, but each of these lessons, while very detailed, if you want to click on the actual tutorial or the lesson itself, the post itself, it may seem like it's super easy, but it will be getting, or it may seem like it's super long, but it will be super easy when you're going through with the video, because most of this, up to the vanity email, so like the first 9 lessons can probably be done completed in, all these steps can probably be done in a matter of probably 30-45 minutes, and then will leave us 20 minutes, 15-20 minutes to knock out our coming soon page, which is all we'll need. It's going to be very basic. And of course our module extras, how to use Google Voice, WordPress users, like all the basic WordPress information. And then this is another big one here, which is image optimization. It goes into how to optimize images, all that fun stuff. Structure is basically going to be going over what we need and creating stuff for the structure of the site. Like, we're not putting content in play, we're just creating our about page, our contact page, our robots.txt file, our sitemap, our categories, our menus, the core stuff that we need in order to move forward to start putting the content in and designing our websites moving forward in the next few modules. So, and then of course, just as an overview, I have a SEO blog post that'll walk you through the basics of understanding what SEO is. So it's coming together. Like I basically wanted to get to this point by next Friday, according to my timeline. So it's one of those things with, being able to look at the way everything's going in the countdowns. I really think I should be able to get the majority of this wrapped up maybe a week or a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks early, possibly. And if so, I may release some stuff. I may, grab different lists that I have and just, send out to, 1 or 2 of my little small lists or something like that, the links to get the information or something. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but we'll figure that out when the time comes. But with 28 days, 8 hours, 14 minutes, and 20 seconds left, I do still have a lot of work to do. I do still have to knock out a bunch of stuff that, you know, it's like in the module 3. Let me go ahead and show you what I'm talking about when I get here. I had this blog post like finished, and it was sitting at about 600 words. And now I'm going to go to it. You'll see what I mean when I say that I had to add stuff that was needed. Of course, it covers the information on what you need it, you know, and what each page is for and all that. But when it comes down here, it starts showing how I upload a template, if you will, of all 7 of the core pages that I use, which are the home, about, blog, contact, privacy policy, terms of use, and disclaimer. All 7 of these can be installed in a matter of seconds using WordPress importer with a XML file I created. So I went through and added all this, so I have all the images. I go through each of the steps and, you know, kind of walk you through it, you know. And I had to do this to about 4 or 5 different blog posts today. So that's where, like I said, I'm having to spend a lot more time putting the content together so that it actually makes sense for every single person who goes through the training. Now, some of it may be very basic, and, you know, for those of you who are going through it who don't need to know that information, that's why I have the different modules set up this way, is you can go through the lessons and say, well, I already have a name that I want to use. I know that it's not trademarked and everything's good to go. I have a secure password. You know, you may not have a tagline, but if you do, then you're like, come through the extras and see if you need anything down here, and you can skip the entire first module if you need to, or if you already know this information. So just something, you know, like I said, it's a challenge, work in progress, and like I said, it's just getting to the point where I can I'm starting to see the finish line for the challenge. And this is something, you know, for those of you who know me, know the concept is something I've been working on in one way, shape, form, or another. The initial concept for this was probably 2012, and it's one of those things, you know, for those of you who know me, when it comes to side projects, I will jump from project to project, and or I have in the past, and this is one of those things that I just decided last year that I was like, it's gonna be a thing. I had a lot of the content already finished. I was already using other platforms, cjhallock.com and a few other, you know, free web design tutorials and all these other different things, and YouTube and all this other stuff to drive traffic through for HostJack. And then I just decided that my main one of my core focuses for 2008, well, the later half of 18 going into 19, is to put a lot of energy and effort, smart energy and smart work into creating somewhat of, you know, not necessarily 100% residual, but some more solid residual, you know, type income. And with HostJack, that's what it allows me to do, because it's my hosting company, so I get a portion of everything that goes through that site month after month. Whether someone's registering a domain, or they're buying an SSL certificate, or paying for hosting each month, that money hits my account every month. So being able to, you know, use Digitoolbag and the Blitz challenge to walk people through the steps to do this is my residual goal line. Like, that's, you know, what the focus is to use this, teach people the proper ways to do things. That way, if you know, if you get through this and you just can't get the look of your website to look right, you can hand it over to a professional designer, someone like myself, someone like, you know, Mickey Trivet at Webco USA. Shout out, Mickey. And everything is in play. The SEO, you have the core stuff done that is needed in order to hand it over to someone else just to get the visuals right. Because if you hand someone the visuals with a website that's, you know, basically finished, and all they need to do is pretty it up, it's a lot easier work. And this may be something, may not be something that, you know, your local designer will do, because they may not use Elementor. But that being said, it is something that I think is going to be great, and I cannot wait to get it launched. March 1st, 7 a.m. is going to be the launch. Don't miss out. I will be doing a whole bunch of stuff, from giveaways. I'm going to do a couple one-on-one consults. I may even, I don't know, I may do some yeah. I'm not going to say anything for sure, but there's going to be some good stuff. That being said, I hope everyone has, you know, I went longer tonight than I normally do, so hope everyone has an amazing night. For those of you who are listening in the morning, amazing morning, whatever it is. Get ready, because first thing in the morning I'm posting that First of the Month by Bone Thugs. You know it's right. Other than that, y'all have a good one. Be great. Stay boosted. See y'all next video. See you in the morning. Something. I'm online. We'll see.
I'm out here shining, 'cause I stay grinding.